eBay Motors is here for the ride. Elbow grease and a whole lot of love transformed 100,000 miles and a body full of rust into a drive entirely its own. LED headlights, spoilers, whatever you need. eBay Motors has it at affordable prices. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride every time. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Pandora makes it easy for you to find your favorite music. Discover new artists and genres by selecting any song or album, and we'll make you a personalized station for free. Download on the Apple App Store or Google Play and enjoy the soundtrack to your life.
After working with you for 2 years, it's goddamn obvious you don't care about panty lines, Jess. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, but it's funny.
And now, Cheese Wits.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Not too perky, but what's up?
Also,
How you doing?
Also not too perky.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
It'll be fine. As soon as I get some damn sleep, it'll be fine.
I can't remember the last time I got sleep.
Well, I was getting sleep. What's Wally doing?
Touching himself?
I guess.
Oh, closing the door.
I was getting sleep until about 2:15 this morning when the power went out, which woke me up because I have a fan on in the room.
You've mentioned that.
And then continued to keep me awake because then we could hear, since there was no fan, every little fucking noise, and the dog was barking at every noise. Now, keep in mind, when we had storms that brought tornadoes last week, my power didn't even flicker. This week, no storms, nothing happening. Power goes out for 2 hours.
That's the way it is here. You know, you could have nothing happen, you know, for the longest time. You get a big storm, nothing happens. And then, I don't know, 3-4 weeks later, a rat farts a mile and a half away and it's gone.
Yeah. Speaking of a big the tornadoes last week.
Yeah.
I saw this, the local newspaper here, the Tennessean, posted a story, and it says, here's the headline: Clarksville tornado survey reveals homes held to foundations by nails, tape.
Oh my God.
When survey crews with the National Weather Service began their work in Clarksville, the level of destruction initially hinted at an EF4 or 5 level storm, but a mature maple tree standing untouched while the home it stood in front of was ripped apart gave them pause. And the tornado hadn't reached its peak strength when it hit the homes. These houses, the team found, couldn't handle the strength of the storm in part because of how they were attached to their foundations with tape and nails.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you guys do there in Tennessee?
I mean,
do things a little different there.
Apparently up in Clarksville, it's one step below living in a trailer.
God damn. Hold on a second. I've lost picture. There we go. Now I'm all set. Look at Jess. Mary, what does that say? Pig what? Oh, Big Nick. Big Nick energy.
Pig what?
Big Nick energy. Which is not what I have at all today. I have no energy. I am so tired.
Yeah, neither do I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was sort of on the verge of dozing. I've been watching black and white movies most of the day, which I really like. I've been watching some Cary Grant movies and things because they're wonderful. That's why. Because they're wonderful. Now I have my big cup of tea ready to go.
I have my cup of cocoa with Kahlua in it. So if I doze off before the end of the show, just
mocha cocoa.
Just nudge me. It'll be fine.
Is that that's a mocha cocoa or something like that?
I don't know. It's delicious is what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think. Let's see. When Jody has her, the mocha would be the chocolate part, and then the mocha, yeah, coffee, yeah. Mm-hmm. Good for you. Mm-hmm. Now, what do you have more of? How many spoonfuls do you have of each? I'm guessing spoonfuls of cocoa and pours of Kahlua.
Listen, this is not a recipe show.
You know what? You do have sort of a bright look in your eye. How many of those have you had?
Listen, this is not a recipe show.
You do have you have a look in your eye. Like that is not your first cup of mocha Kahlua cocoa.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I was just having an amaretto and vodka.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm with you, but I didn't drink. Now I'm having tea. I felt like having, I was thinking of that the other day. I was thinking, when's the last time I really got? Okay.
Distracted?
All right. Yeah, I'm just trying. Dagan. So Dagan has. I'm going to get back to my thought here in a second. Dagan has really bad eczema.
Oh.
So he's been out of school for like 3 days because he's unable to use his hands. He's got an outbreak on his hands.
Oh, that's awful.
He's unable to. He can't even. The worst part of the whole thing is he can't use his cell phone. Because he can't use his fingers to type and
stuff. How does he communicate with you?
I know, because his skin will break. It'll open up. So he had
miserable.
to go to the urgent care, and he's on 2 new medicines. And I wasn't even aware eczema could be that bad. But it's debilitating. But he has a sports banquet tonight that he's going to, or this afternoon. Anyways, I was thinking just this Thursday. Speaking of drinking alcohol, when's the last time I got hammered?
Oh,
when is the last? I have not been hammered in years.
No, I haven't either. I had to stop doing that.
But I will say I don't mind a nice little moon glow every now and again.
Yeah, I like a little buzz from time to time.
Yeah, just a little, but a glow where you're still very functional. You're not slurring. You know all the words in the English language that you know. You're able to piece them together. There's no falling down. There's no vicious headache. You can eat without barfing. That's a better sort of drinking mode.
Yeah, those hangovers hit different over 40.
Never had one.
You've never had a hangover?
Nope. I have gotten shitty many times. Never had a hangover.
Really?
Well, yeah. You know what? You get all the other shit, so I guess
that is true.
That's a trade-off.
Yeah. Right. So you will lie down on a bathroom floor because it's cold because you're having some sort of diabetic episode.
Correct.
And we're lying down on the floor because we're laying in puke.
Yes.
Or because of I had a migraine earlier this week, and it was the worst one I've had in years. Like it took more than twice as long for the medication to get rid of it.
Migraines.
It's awful.
I haven't had one in knock on in probably 5 years.
I mean, any migraine is a bad migraine, but this one, I couldn't move. I couldn't function.
I've had the ones where you fucking just gotta close your eyes because even opening your eyes, and having any light, it just fucking just hurts.
Yeah.
On top of the migraine.
That's where I was.
And the only thing, and you feel the ones where you feel nauseous, and the light hurts you, and you're fucking fighting to sleep so that you can just sleep through it.
I was praying for death. I was lucky that I could actually keep the medication down because I've had them once in a while in the past so bad that I tried to get to take a pill and I couldn't keep water down. I couldn't keep the pill down. And so I just had to suffer through it until it was done.
Yeah. Those I haven't had one in a long, like at least 5 years. I have not had one, but I haven't even had close to one in a long time, which not even a terrible headache, but I think it's because I'm hopped up on so many other drugs these days that nothing can permeate the other drugs that are there to stop the pain of arthritis and bullshit.
Yeah.
That because it's all basically some sort of, the most powerful one is the same sort of stuff I think that you take is a sort of a mood altering, but it's really not. So I'm not mood altered, but it's used for mood depression. Right?
Oh, you mean your antidepressant?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't take antidepressants.
Yeah. So mine, but I'm not.
Look at me. Do I look like I need a fucking antidepressant? I'm happy. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, I don't use it as an antidepressant.
Right. If there was a poster child for antidepressants, for fuck's sake, it's you, woman.
Yeah. It's almost like Chris knows you.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's almost like you get some insight into your psyche.
I never told you this story, Wally, but there were, as you know, there were bad times in Jess's life when I knew her.
Oh, yeah.
And
nobody knew what was about to come.
And nobody knew what was about to happen. But I walked in the studio one afternoon and she's sitting behind the console. So I walked out and I went downstairs. I came back upstairs and sat down in my position.
The supportive husband.
I walked out of the studio, went out the back door.
This sounds
tried
not
to find
true.
somebody with a cigarette. Came back inside. Jess is behind the console. So I sat there for another couple minutes and got through another couple. I said, "Do you want to go home and want me to finish the show?" Yes. And that was it. Now, that's how I knew that day that, number one, the marriage was not going to be successful. And number two, that I had a friend for life. Okay.
I have no recollection of that. In fact, I don't remember crying in front of anybody unless we were raising money for St. Jude.
No. There was no St. Jude going on. There was no open microphone. There was just Jess sitting on a stool behind the console and me sitting on a stool on the 90-degree angle to you and a couple of, and this was October of
dog
12.
whimpers.
Yes, October of 12.
Of 12.
That's when that was.
Oh, yeah. That was a bad time.
Yes.
Oh, Jess, you remember this.
Well, I remember now looking back that I should have let shit end right then and there, and I didn't.
You don't fucking say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever remember Jess, because I was around for hard times, but they weren't man hard times when I was around Jess. They were poverty. Her hard times were mostly about poverty when I was when Jess and I were around.
And that time I got mugged.
I'm thinking that Jess would have preferred at that point sucking dick for money than what she was going through. Okay.
Jess.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I can't imagine that attempt.
And back then, obviously,
right, take your dick out.
I still had faith in humanity that what I was being told was true all the time.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Well, so were you being told that the man you were involved with, or maybe I hesitate saying man, the male that you were involved with was a piece of shit?
Mm-hmm.
Were you being told that and you were denying it? Or
he was starting to demonstrate that he was a piece of shit, and I thought he was just going through something. And
he was going through something, all right.
What kind of fiance would I be if I didn't support him when he was going through a tough time? And and then eventually he came around and turned back into the man he never actually was, but pretended to be. And I went, you see, all I had to do was show him a little bit of support.
And everything would be fine. It's so weird, Wally. Look at Big Nick up there in her rose-colored glasses. Look at that.
Those glasses are long gone now. Now, if a man tried to pull any of that shit, I would be like, bye, immediately.
Well, a lot of us tried to give you a new prescription, so I'm glad it finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Immediately bye.
Jess didn't have a ton of boy problems back when we were around, when we were working together. No, there wasn't boy problem. No, there just wasn't. Mm-mm. But I do remember. You never even we didn't have a. So Jess and my friendship over the course of about a 25-year period was a couple times a year, a Facebook or an email back and forth. Mm-hmm. It is really how it went. Every now and again, we might have an email or a Facebook conversation that would go, 20 minutes.
Mhm.
and then we talked to each other again in a year, but it was always a pick up where we left off sort of thing.
Wally sent me dishes for a wedding gift. I've since gotten rid of them because they were a wedding gift. Sorry.
Did I send you dishes?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Were they nice or shit?
They were nice. I liked them.
I don't remember. Boy, I was a good guy.
Yeah, you were.
Man, I can't believe I did that.
Wow.
No, I can believe I did it. I don't remember that at all.
Well, it was 10 years ago.
Wow.
I still, up till a couple of years ago, I still had a couple things that were new from the second wedding that I was keeping to regift.
You're the best.
There was a couple of things, but thank God a lot of people gave us cash and we went to Las Vegas.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and that was good. And she contracted, what's that good stomach disease? H. pylori. Yeah. She got H. pylori from the buffet at MGM Grand and was in bed the whole fucking time.
What is H. pylori?
Apparently I remember that being the name, and I could be wrong. H. pylori could have been the guy on Gunsmoke. I have no fucking idea, but it sounds right. But it was some sort of stomach bug. And
really?
Yeah, we had to take her to the hospital on day number 2. And she's like, I'm just going to lay in bed. And I said, that's fine. I'm just going to take a walk around, clear my head, a roulette table.
That sounds like some sort of shellfish worm or something.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like eating like bad cherry stones or something.
Well, I mean, again, it came from a buffet and people don't wash their hands. It was probably somebody's shit on their hands, then on the buffet.
And look, I haven't been feeling the best. And she wanted to go to the Chinese buffet last night. And I haven't been feeling, I had like a stomach bug earlier in the week. She's like, oh, let's go to the Chinese buffet. I'm like, as we're on the way to the Chinese buffet last night, my stomach just starts saying no. and she said, what is that? I said, my stomach's saying no, I think, because it's going. And we're getting down. We get to the parking lot of Chef Lynn's, and I let out this fart that just goes, and that was it. We
like a gravy fart.
Basically, yeah, basically. So we decided not to go to Chef Lynn's last night.
Yeah,
probably a good choice.
When you fart and you have to walk differently because you can feel that your ass cheeks are moist.
The best one is being in the grocery store after dinner and picking up a couple things, and you've got that feeling in your stomach. And I've got to the point where I just put my hand on her shoulder. I said, the countdown has begun. We have to head to the register. She's like, what do you mean? I said, honey, I have about 5 minutes. Oh.
I like how she asks, what do you mean? As if she doesn't know you well enough to marry you.
Well, no, there's different times that a countdown can mean something else. I could have to shit. I could have to barf. I might have to get on a call with Cheezus. I don't know.
Oh.
But the countdown has begun.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fair.
The countdown has begun. He's suddenly an 80s Europe song.
Yeah. It's not the final countdown. What, are you going to be fucking shitting and dying, Wally?
I mean, if anybody's going to die from shitting.
Dude, but that is my weirdest thing. I've got...
That's not your weirdest thing, but go ahead.
Well, I've got this... My weirdest thing I keep between my legs, sir. But I have this irrational fear that I am going to die of some sort of gastric thing. So, like, I'm going to shit myself to death or have, like, my balloon knot's going to come out sideways one day or something weird is going to happen.
You have a balloon nut?
Well, I mean, that's what I refer to my asshole as, my balloon nut.
Oh.
What did you think I was talking about, Wally?
Well, I have a balloon nut. Like I have I have a growth on one of my testicles that keeps getting bigger. It's not like completely crazy big, but I told you before, I have one testicle bigger than the other.
Uh-huh.
And it's grown bigger over the last 3 years or so. It's about size and a half of the normal testicle size. I figure in another 10 years it's going to be 2 times, maybe 3 times the size.
That seems concerning.
No, I've had my testicle fondled by a young intern and a doctor. The intern didn't work at the hospital,
No,
but anyway.
of course not.
That's fine. It's fine. It was a dental associate. It's fine. It's fine. She didn't mind. Turns out it wasn't even that. It was actually janitorial staff. But it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
And I had it had the ultrasound on it and everything. It's not a problem with it. It's just abnormal growth of a testicle. That's all.
I didn't even know that was a medical thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well,
Me either. My testicles are normal size.
Well, and
I don't
now
believe
we have
that. I
it.
see the way you sit in your chair differently. Sort of propped up a little bit.
No, I think we've
That is
discussed
true.
that I don't keep mine down there.
Hey, if anyone's got elephantitis, it's Jess. Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I had that abnormal growth.
Oh,
It's not prohibitive. It's not anything other than that. Nothing. It doesn't. But it does once in a while, like get caught between the underwear seam, the boxer seam, and the jean. And if I reach for something in a certain way, sometimes you can catch it just right. Go, oh fuck!
so your nodule falls?
Yes. Nodule falls and it gets in that open space between the jean and the underwear, and if you move just right, you can get a quick squish.
Now, Jess, nodule falls. That's where you and Wally used to work, isn't it? Right outside of Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, it's a small market,
Okay,
Nodule falls,
but growing.
Yes,
growing large.
growing.
It's almost two
Boom.
times as big as it was.
That's right.
Good for you guys.
So I'm having weird dreams, and whenever I have these weird dreams, something odd happens in life. Like I've had these dreams about being at my parents' house lately, and it's like 5 or 6 nights in a row. Something at my parents' house. Like I'll be in my parents' house, and while I'm there, it turns into an antique store, or I'm in my parents' house, and I'm the sky outside is a weird color, and everybody's running down the road. And last night, I'm having this dream that I'm at my parents' house at the front door. My dead brother is alive, but he's outside and very muscular. It was kind of weird. And my mother's standing outside of the house. And you know how houses, they're in rows, street to street. And I'm seeing like a tsunami come over and slam down in front of the houses. And my mom's going, oh my God. And then it slams down again going, oh my God. And more water, and oh my God. And my mom refuses to come inside the house. And I get woken up. I hear somebody with a big voice going, do you know the Muffin Man? And that was it. That was, yeah.
Have you been able to? So
I have not figured out this Muffin Man thing yet, dude.
That was when you were awake?
This is when I was asleep. That's what woke me up, was this Muffin Man thing.
See, I was figuring you might have pissed your pants because of the tsunami.
No.
I'm pretty sure you're haunted.
I probably am. Could you imagine having a haunted penis, Wally? Well, you already do, I guess.
Okay, let's see. Let me just read this. A dream about a tsunami can have several interpretations depending on the events in the dream. But one thing is common. Tsunami dreams indicate an unconscious fear of a change occurring or about to occur in your life, and your ability to adapt to new challenges, changes, people, surroundings, and events.
I feel like that's the definition of every dream, that you're worried about changes happening.
I think that would be the same event if you had a dream about a shitstorm.
If you had a dream about your teeth falling out, if you had every dream, it's like, oh, you're subconsciously worried about change.
Well, I think it's the same as fucking anybody who reads those newspaper horoscopes.
Mm-hmm.
You can read and go, oh yeah, it sounds like me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to meet somebody. I'm outgoing.
My birth date says I'm a Taurus, but apparently, according to those, I'm an Aquarius.
Unless you go to a Chinese restaurant, then you're a rooster.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that stuff is fantastic. And people really, really believe it. So I have a friend on Facebook, a friend who, from my days of community theater, who now is a Reiki masseuse, and is into this astrology
Here we go.
stuff. And
it's more of this fucking leftist bullshit right here.
So listen, I don't buy into any, and now has bought a place on the ocean and does all of these things, and works with stones. I think. Do you remember Sharon? Mm-hmm. Remember she was into runes.
Yep.
She'd throw bones and chicken bones and runes and shit.
Yeah.
Listen, Chris, we worked with this girl, and she's passed. She was a lost soul, but god damn, she had a voice.
Yeah, she did.
Oh fuck, she had a voice. But she believed in throwing chicken bones and runes and reading your future. She was kind of wacky. But she keeps inviting me to join these different things, and I don't. And I keep getting more notes from her. How come you're not joining my thing? Because I think you're fucking batshit crazy. That's why. But how do you say that in a nice way?
It's just not my thing.
I think that with the people in this room, I think we've all gotten past saying things the nicest way and just saying things the bluntest way and saying, listen, bitch, here's the thing. That's all you got to start. Listen, bitch.
Really, I think it's batshit crazy bullshit.
Well, it is. It's all batshit crazy. My Aunt Margaret, okay, which, woman never got married. She was always like the family caretaker.
I thought he was going to say the family whore.
No. I'm pretty sure Aunt Margaret never met a dick, to be honest with you. But she would read everybody's cards. That was her thing. She'd read your cards.
Tarot.
So here I am, 5 years old, and my sister's whatever. But she do it with a regular deck, Wally, not tarot cards. She do it with a regular deck. So, okay, she turns over 3 cards, an ace, a 5, and an 8. And, oh, Chris, you're going to have such a wonderful life. And, the future looks so bright. She'll be doing my sister 5 minutes later, an ace, a 5, and an 8. Your life is ending soon, Diane. It's a terrible world that you're part of. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is all bullshit, but that's kind of, Chris, you're going to have a wonderful, maybe she knew you were fragile and your sister was stronger.
Maybe.
Chris's fragility can't take the ace of hearts.
Hey, meanwhile, Diane's fucked. So, and I'm not.
I would love to believe in that stuff, like the psychics or the mediums that can talk to the dead for you, and I would love to believe in that stuff. I would love to.
Oh, that's great.
But
that's
can't.
Good. I'm glad you want to believe in somebody that stands in the front of the fucking Marriott who has bought out the ballroom, picks up somebody on stage and says, so you want to talk to your dead father? Yes. Does the name begin with, I'm feeling strong? Is an A, a B, a C, a D? Yes, it's Dan. Yes, Dan.
But see, I always thought I would be able to tell if it was my dad, because there would be something specific that they could tell me that would let me know that it was him. But so far.
Hold on, Jess, was your father... Was he a male, Jess? Was he a male?
He was. Are you talking to him right now?
I am. I'm talking to him right now. And
did he have an ingrown toenail?
No.
Was there a time that he was mean to you?
He would never admit that to a psychic or anybody else.
No. This is different. He's talking to you through me. Was he mean to you once? Was he? He's sorry for being mean at that time? And
that's definitely not my dad.
It's not him.
Was it in January, February,
definitely
March,
not
April?
My dad.
Yes, April. It was definitely April. So the one that I remember, let's circle back to our illustrious careers, were when the guy that would rent out the hotel room. The Mark Patrick seminars. Do you remember them? The stop smoking seminars?
Yeah.
The best one was out in Winchester right after I left Frederick. We're sitting there and my boss takes me to the seminar. He says, you got to see this. So, okay. So we're in like whatever the worst possible hotel meeting room in Winchester, Virginia could be. It was like the dead room they had on top of the Shoney's. Okay. And so the only thing, you've got like grease stains coming up the walls inside this thing and the smell of the breakfast bar and whatever else. And this guy's up front saying, we're going to put the room to sleep. The room's going to be sleepy. In 3, 2, 1, you are now in a deep sleep. A deep sleep. And this fucking sales guy, Mario, lets out this rip-roaring fucking fart. Just fucking whole room breaks out in laughter. So I'm thinking at that point, maybe these things weren't real, kind of like the medium that was trying to talk to whoever. Could I be right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those things.
Those were great. Oh, they used to really, and people used to fucking come and pay.
Oh fuck! They'd buy they'd buy the books.
My mom quit smoking with the help of a hypnotist.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
For how long? Forever?
Forever. As far as I know. I mean, this was back in the early 90s, and I wasn't living there anymore, but
I sort of believe individual hypnotism is possible.
Mm.
I do think people can put you, they can sort of give you a mind meld.
Yeah, she went one-on-one. She didn't go to one of those seminars.
It's more, all people are susceptible to mind influences, no matter what it is.
Meanwhile, Charlotte's sitting at home listening to this podcast with a Marlboro menthol.
but Jess, you just gave a great example of it when the asshole made you think that he was really the man and not an asshole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Convince you for a short time.
But he's never been officially diagnosed, because narcissists can't actually really be diagnosed, because they would never go for that help. But he is textbook narcissistic sociopath. And I know everybody throws around the word narcissist these days, and he's gaslighting me, for anybody that does something that they don't like. Right. But no, he was an absolute gaslighting narcissistic sociopath.
Yeah.
Which one are we talking about?
The one.
Which one?
E? Okay. Well, no, because I wasn't sure where we were. We were talking about. We went from her mother to.
Oh.
No,
he was he was talking about him manipulating me into believing that he was the guy that I met after being an asshole.
Yeah, boy. We could do a whole sub podcast on this fuck.
Yeah, but it's already been done. It's called Dirty John.
Wow.
What is that?
It's a podcast about a guy exactly like my ex-husband, plus murder.
There's always murder in these.
Yeah.
All these podcasts of the mystery podcasts, they're all murder, right? They're all death.
Yeah.
They're all death. And it's I was watching Bill Maher talking about these murder podcasts. And he did a little bit on them. And it's he did a bit that we did 100 years ago, Jess, and probably we've all done. Was whenever you see a murder, you say, when is somebody going to say, no, I believe that motherfucker was crazy? Everybody always says, oh, he was a great guy. What a good, because
they make you believe that they're a great guy.
But when these fucking serial shooters and serial murderers, no one ever says, oh no, I thought that motherfucker was crazy.
You know what? The guy who bombed downtown Nashville on Christmas Day in 2020, right. There were people trying to tell anybody, something's wrong with this motherfucker. Like he's going to do something bad. He's going to do something dangerous, and nobody took them seriously.
Same here. The mass shooting we had, that was here 12 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago. The family of the guy who perpetrated the event were contacting as many people as they could, saying, hey, there's a problem. Mm-hmm. He's got a problem. He's got guns and he's got a problem. The National Guard said, we can't let him have guns anymore. He has a problem. And then he goes out. So when they interview people about him, nobody says it though. Nobody says, oh, he was a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's what they should be saying. Whenever there's, for anything, fucking people just don't want to say the truth about anything. Whenever there's a crazy accident or something where there's teenagers involved or he was such a good kid. No, he drove around like a fucking moron all the time, and it's not surprising.
I would just like the record to show that I put up a website 8 years ago. So when he finally gets around to hurting someone for money, I was there on the internet like, hey, y'all don't trust this man.
He's a crazy motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
It is still a great read.
And when Dateline when Dateline interviews me, when Keith Morrison comes to my house to talk to me about the whole situation, I'm going to say, I tried to tell people.
I don't think it's going to be him. I think it's going to be more of a Chris Hansen dropping by.
Is Chris Hansen still doing Dateline?
I don't know. He is for the purposes of this call.
No, what have I seen? I've seen Chris Hansen. He's doing ads for generic blue pill. He's doing ads for generic Viagra.
That's great.
Yeah, how his career has fallen. You get a divorce and cheat on your wife with some young person, and look what happens. You're doing generic Viagra spots.
It works out for some people.
Yeah, not for old Chris.
Nope.
Not for old Chris. Chip Morrison has made a career out of going with that. He has that Morrison. Inflect he does.
Did you call him Chip?
With his voice. Huh?
Did you call him Chip?
No, Keith Morrison, I said.
Keith Morrison, yeah.
Yeah, he has
Chip.
That's what Wally said.
Oh,
I know,
Chip Morrison. No. Oh, did I say Chip Morrison?
Yeah.
Chip.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Chip. So Keith Morrison, he does that inflection with his voice that I can't even replicate, but it's yeah. There
was a whole SNL bit about it.
Oh, there was.
Could it have been murder?
It's so fantastic how he does that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's his whole. It's. I don't know if it's a disappointing thing to him. A serious journalist whose career has been like a real journalist.
Yeah.
A real honest to goodness journalist. A guy who knew how to get the news, write the news.
At this point, he could basically write his own ticket. So if he is unhappy at Dateline, I'm pretty sure
he must love it. What an easy gig is that?
Yeah.
Somebody writes all that shit for you. You just go in and read.
Yeah.
And 3 times during the hour broadcast, they put your face on the TV reading one of the lines.
But even when he's interviewing the accused or the family members or whatever, his facial expression, he is brilliant.
Oh, but it's all cutaways. It's all naughties. I don't even think he's there.
Yeah, I think once in a while he is, but not always.
They'll show a 2-shot, and then the rest of it's all stuff he's done somewhere else where he does his nodding. Nodding his head, a little head turn, a little B-roll bullshit.
He's the only one I will talk to. He's the only one.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about that? If there was a tragedy or something in your life, what you would do if the press came to you to talk to you about something?
I mean, it would depend on what it is. If it was another opportunity for me to publicly shit talk my ex-husband, 100% I'm in.
My attitude of that is if a friend of mine went on a killing spree and they came to talk to me about it, I'd say, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I would not talk to anybody about that shit.
No.
Just 'cause I have no fucking interest. I just don't. It's like, you fucking guy, you're such dirt bags.
Mm-hmm.
That is such dirtbag news to go out and chase after people to get them to say, no, he was a good guy.
Which is why we've talked about this. It's why I don't do news anymore. That's why I don't watch the news. It's why I stopped doing the news, reporting the news. I don't want anything to do with it. But I will watch Dateline every single week. I even DVR it just in case I miss it.
You do?
I do. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen a Dateline in 100 years. No, I've not seen a Dateline in forever. The only time I'm aware of Dateline is if I hear Dateline, because Jody's watching Dateline.
Dateline and 2020 are both on my DVR.
Yeah, what is it?
Dateline and 2020.
Oh, 2020. Has 2020 become like Dateline?
Yeah.
Oh, it's no longer news?
Often they do the same stories, not in the same week, but 2020 will be like exclusive story. And I'll be like, really? Because Dateline did that one last month.
I love the idea of exclusive.
Yeah.
You spoke to us exclusively.
Yeah.
They fucking talked to everybody and anybody would give them $5,000.
Yeah.
That's what they spoke with.
Exactly.
They spoke with every fucker who had a checkbook open. But I'm not sure that Dateline. I don't know if they pay people. If Dateline and 2020 pay people,
they should.
I think TMZ and those kind of places pay people.
I mean, it feels like they should. They probably don't, but it feels like they should because they're absolutely profiting off of these stories.
Yeah, well, but they still work under the mask of news. Like, not like, what is the show Paula Zahn is on? What is that show she used to be on? Was it Current Affair? Or was she on Current Affair?
I don't know if she was or not. I know the one you're talking about. I've seen it a few times. I can't think of what it's called.
And
it's basically the same kind of show.
They're the ones that really chase people right into when the people are sitting in their car and they're knocking on the window of their car window going, "What do you think about all the money missing from the fund? Where did that money go from the fund? Did you kill your wife?" That's always what it is.
Yeah.
It's always that bullshit. They're always knocking. If I'm the guy in the car and they're knocking on my window, I'm hitting somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm opening the door and going reverse and saying, "Hey, how's that? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to run the fuck over you.
Oopsies."
Yeah, fuck them. I'll be running right over them motherfuckers. How's that beverage, Jeff?
It's delicious. I'm very warm and toasty.
How beautiful is it that this, if we were getting paid and we were monetizing, but how beautiful is it? This can be called a job. And you're drinking an alcoholic beverage. I love it. I love it.
I got to share this story with you guys. Another old radio pal posted this. I'm going to read it word for word.
Okay, I'm going to let the cat out. Go ahead.
He says, "Okay, so I'm in the car, and the guy on the radio says, 'Here's a Christmas song from the cast of Glee.' I have no idea what Glee is, but I'll try to find out more for you listeners."
What? Now,
this was in Las Vegas. That's not a small market.
How does the person not know what Glee is?
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something.
And not just not knowing what Glee is, to go on the radio
and say you don't know what it is.
I don't know what Glee. It's exactly the same thing as, I know I've told this story when the two guys we had on the mornings in Frederick, and one of them was like, "Dave, do you know how to get on Twitter? I don't even know what it is. Do you look at it on your phone?"
But don't you think you're trying to be, at that point, you're trying to be, I'm going to be hip by saying I don't know what it is, or I'm going to go against the grain. And
no. You were dealing with
people who appeal to it.
I feel like that's when you go, "I've never seen an episode of Glee, but you know what it is."
I've never seen it.
Well, that's what I mean. You know what it is. You would never, to be hip, you don't say, "I don't know what that is."
No, but I think that's what they think, because they're my
I'm too
whatever
cool for
fucking
this
generation they're part of, that probably that younger person in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They're probably but here's what I know about Glee. I know it was a TV show. It was singing. It was sort of like whatever that high school show was on during our time. It was
not like Fame.
And
come on.
I don't know. I think
it was the 2000s version of Fame.
Yeah.
Do you really?
And I know there was one of the cast members was committed suicide. One of the popular cast members committed suicide.
Yep.
So that's what I know about that show. And I think Jess is right. I think it was a more modern version of Fame.
Fame was cool, but everybody, who the show that show was targeted at, loved it. Loved that show. We weren't targeted that wasn't for us.
No. Of course not. But we knew about it.
Yeah.
And plus, you're fucking sitting there with this fucking thing called the internet.
Right.
I would never, when I was doing a live show, I would never go on the air and talk about anything without having some knowledge of it. And if I didn't, I would go.
Yeah, no, you make that mistake one time, and then a whole bunch of your listeners call to tell you you're a fucking idiot. And you go,
exactly.
Oh, I shouldn't do that anymore. Maybe I should look things up on this internet that's right here in the studio, provided for me free of charge.
Right.
Before I say I don't know what things are.
Here.
Yeah.
I've got 3 fucking
that's
screens.
Just lazy.
I've got my Enco screen or whatever the fuck it is. I've got this screen. I've got my my prep screen that I'm using with all my fucking various shit I can look up or bring up my cancellations, but whatever the fuck it is, fucking look it up. Don't be an asshole.
That's just lazy. As if you have, we talked about this last week, all of the shit we used to have to do when you're on the air. And now computers do all of the things for you. You literally, the only thing you have to do is prep your breaks and answer the phones. That's it.
Well, and if you've listened to enough local radio, there's not much prepping going on.
No.
Not a ton.
It's not a lot of prep. I read somebody's post today, a radio person's post today, and radio people are constantly trying to sell radio, right? On Facebook, saying their whole thing was it's free, you don't need to download anything, it's live. I said, hold on, it's not live. It's almost useless.
Yeah, live and local used to be the thing.
The selling point.
Not so much.
But go ahead, let there be a fire happening right now outside your door. And you want to tune in and say, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. What's happening? You're finding nothing.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been anybody on the radio had I turned it on at 2:00 in the morning to find out what was going on.
Fuck no.
Why the power was out.
Nobody on at noon.
Of course, I looked at the internet and all I could find was, it's out for me too. Yeah, me too. Hey, yeah, it's out here too.
Right.
That's helpful. Thanks.
Yeah, we have the on the Turner Town site. On the town site, did anybody hear that big boom? Did you hear that big boom up on Morris Hill? I fucking see this shit all the time. So I've started to put a picture of, I used to put a picture of Alice Kravitz online.
Judas Priest.
And nobody knew who it was.
No. Well, some people did because
Gladys
now
Kravitz.
I'm using the I forget her name. I just forgot her name, but she's from Bridgerton. I don't know if you know that show.
I never watched it.
Okay, so there's somebody who writes like a gossip sheet, and they don't know who it is. And so when I put her picture up and people react and go, yeah, because it's just fucking bullshit. This is supposed to be the community page. Did anybody feel their house shake today on this street or that street?
There are two people on our local area page that always crack me up. One, no matter what the post is, whether it's somebody bitching about bad service at a business or bitching about, the way people drive on whatever road or whatever, or if they're saying something nice, no matter what the post is, this one guy will comment, okay, on every single post. And then, those posts where somebody asks a question and 47 different people give the same answer?
Yes.
And let's say the answer, let's just say the answer is bread. There's one guy who will come onto those posts and go, has anyone suggested bread?
That's so good. It's so the big post right now is, has anybody seen my package that was delivered from the United States Postal Service? I think they sent it to the wrong address.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. Or a porch pirate took it.
Oh,
there's so many of those now.
I posted a picture the other day. Did you see it?
Your picture, yes.
The Amazon drivers have been leaving my stuff right on the edge of the top step of my porch. So it's actually not underneath the overhang. So a couple of times my stuff got rained on, but also it's right there for anybody driving by to see that there's a package sitting there. So I went in on your Amazon account, you can put instructions, and I went in and said, please leave the packages back against the wall so that they're protected from weather and not visible from the street. And the very next delivery I got, this motherfucker leaned the packages against the door.
They've got the packages leaned against your door so you can't open your door.
Yeah. Assholes.
Listen, I'm telling you.
I almost went back into my delivery instructions and said, and don't be a dick.
I think you've created some animus towards yourself.
I have?
Yeah,
I said, please. I didn't say, don't be an asshole.
Remember when they delivered the big heavy package and left it down in the walkway?
That was
it's
FedEx.
It's a big mistake. She opens up her Amazon. She gets into the the delivery instructions. Your first problem was saying "Dear cocksuckers." Okay, you shouldn't start it like that.
I didn't do that yet.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. I'm thinking that maybe they're saying, hey, this chick, this Jess Wright.
But here's the thing. Amazon has this whole initiative going on right now where you can say, thank my driver. And the driver who dropped off your most recent package gets $5. I have yet to do that.
Don't think they don't know.
Well, if they're going to leave the shit propped up against the door, they're not getting an extra $5.
I don't blame you.
I said, I actually answered that how did we do email. When it says your package has been delivered, how do we do?
Oh, God, she's one of them, Wally.
I am now.
She's one of them.
They know, even though it says you're going to remain anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
But she's going to remain unanimous.
Yeah, she does not remain anonymous. You people put this shit in front of my door. It was leaning up on the door. I am on dialysis, and I could not push my way out of the house. If there are any questions, I can't answer them because I ran over my catheter bag in my very large wheelchair. If you have to get a hold of me, miserablefuck@gmail.com.
I was delivering something on Friday, and the woman came to the door with the proverbial cane, and she had fucking, I don't know, from the knee down, her legs were the size of sequoias.
Aww.
And no. Oh. So she said, well, can you bring the packages in the house? Bring the package in the house and put it on the counter. I said, ma'am, I can't go in your house. It's not allowed to go into your house. What the fuck do you mean? They other fuckers will bring it in? I said, ma'am, I can't break the rules because they break the rules.
So are you telling me that because she was cunty, I can't have sympathy for her health problems?
You can have sympathy for her health problems.
Thank you.
But health problems is not a reason to break the rules. I'm sorry.
I agree with you, but I can still say, about her legs.
She was using that as a reason for me to break the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got
the word's going to get around about you hating old people because there was that other woman that did the same thing.
No, she wasn't old. She just had big legs for some reason. I don't know why.
Sequoias, Jess.
Sequoias. Yeah.
But she thinks I should break the rules. No, people think that they use all these little fucking things to say, oh, I have the people say, I have a back issue. Fuck you. I broke my back. I'm carrying your shit up the stairs.
I've seen a whole bunch of my posts from like Facebook memories from when I was still on the air in on live radio when we were giving away concert tickets. And whenever Taylor Swift was coming to town, my grandmother's going to die. She's in the hospital. Yeah, I got to get tickets so I can take her to meet Taylor Swift. Like, every fucking concert, the phones would blow up with all of the stories and all of the reasons. And I would go, would you like the number to Ticketmaster? Yeah, well,
yes, because most grandmothers' dying wish
is to see Taylor Swift.
To go to a Taylor Swift concert.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's different if it's, a 11-year-old girl who has some sort of horrible or even a young kid who likes Taylor Swift. That's different. That's a different scenario.
Sure. But
my 78-year-old grandmother has always wanted to see Taylor Swift.
Those stories were always, whether it's like anybody, that it was for tickets, it was for T-shirts at the fair. My grandmother needs this T-shirt because she's in the hospital dying. Yeah, well, it's not going to heal her. It's not. No. It's not a magical T-shirt.
Yeah. So this may be because I know Chris is of the same mind here.
Well, we'll see.
This may be a jaded thing that we have that has come to us over the course of time. That
sure, because of Prize Pigs.
Yeah, because of Prize Pigs, and we've heard these fucking stories a billion times.
Yeah,
like my grandmother this, my grandfather that, my kid this, my mother that, my dad that. Like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, the thing is that there are still
real.
those stories circulating on the internet about how somebody, gets the attention of an artist because their kid is whatever, whether they be dying in the hospital or just that they saved up all of their money to buy their own tickets and then the tickets sold out before they could buy them or whatever. And so it works just enough. And the story makes the rounds that this artist noticed it and made it happen and got the kid there and brought the kid on stage. And that means that many more people are now trying to make that work.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for the artist, they're almost married to having to do something.
And what's interesting? Luke Combs is one of the artists that probably is the most frequent, or at least gets talked about most frequently. And he doesn't put the story out there. Usually what happens is the kid or the patient or whoever it is he helps puts the story out there to say, oh my God, look at what Luke Combs did for me. And he is such a good guy. There was a story the other day. This is not really related.
The Tumblr story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This woman, she's got congestive heart failure. She decided to try to make some money to pay her medical bills, and she went about it completely the wrong way. And she made a tumbler with Luke Combs' face on it and his name on it, and she was selling them for $20 on Amazon. She sold less than 20 of them, and she was selling some other stuff too. She had about $5,500 in her Amazon account, and Luke contracts with a company whose job it is to go after these big corporations that are selling his merch without licensing and making millions of dollars off of it. Well, that company went after this woman, and she was notified. She lives in Florida, and they sued her in Illinois for some reason. And she was notified by email of the lawsuit and went into her junk folder. She never saw it. And the whole case was closed while she was in the hospital. And the judge decided that she had to pay Luke Combs $250,000. Oh. Luke had no idea any of this was going on. And when he found out, he was like, holy shit, I'm sick to my stomach. So he had his people create a tumbler that he's selling for $20. 100% of that money is going to her. He also is giving her that $5,500 that she lost from her Amazon account. He doubled that out of his pocket and gave that to her. And he said after she, however much they make on those tumblers, after she pays that judgment, she can use that money for whatever she wants without restriction.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good guy.
Yeah. Because it wasn't supposed to go after some schmuck who wanted to make a few extra bucks. And she's doing it wrong. She broke the rules.
Right.
But yeah.
Unfortunately, those companies can't make, they can't, the line is the line, right?
I guess. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I mean, the line is the line. That's their job. So that's their due diligence. Now,
but I feel like they have the ability to distinguish between this and a corporation that's making millions of dollars.
Yeah, I'm not, how do we know how much they know? But maybe that's a conversation they have to have. Luke Combs has to say, hey, listen.
Yeah. And I bet he's having that conversation now.
When you see something like this, just contact them and say, hey, cut the shit.
Yeah.
Or else we will.
Yeah, it feels like that could have been a cease and desist first.
Yeah. You got to cut the shit or else.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you responsible at this point. But if he doesn't go after him, now say that he does use the tact we just said, that means every motherfucker is going to try to make $5,500. Hey, you can make $5,500 off Luke Combs and he won't come get you.
Yeah.
And now you got 100 people doing it.
Yeah.
And then you got to, so it's fucking, because people are shitheads. Mm-hmm. Now, she obviously has a different attitude. She wasn't trying to be a shithead.
Right. It never even occurred to her, because I don't think it occurs to the random person that there's licensing and things involved in that.
Right.
No, because if you're a celebrity, you have nothing that belongs to you.
Right.
Your time, your image, your voice, none of that shit belongs to you.
Yeah.
That's mine because you're a celebrity and I bought your CD. So fuck you. I can do whatever I want with your music, with your likeness, with anything. It's like
the people, I think I told you guys about this when I was down here before I moved down to Nashville, and I brought listeners to Nashville for fanfare. And these two women came up to me and said, we found Kenny Chesney's house, and we went right up to the door, and they were so proud of themselves. And I went, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Kenny Chesney's door. Can you imagine that?
Jesus.
Can you can you even?
When I was living with a guy who worked in radio, he was a morning guy, and he was like, his listeners were cultish, and people would somehow find out where he lived and show up at our door talking about, I heard he lived here, wanted to come by and say hi.
Would you ever show up at anybody's house?
No.
I just never. I fucking never would.
People would come and sit down. If we were out to eat at a restaurant, they would come and sit down at our table with us, or worse, they would stand at the edge of the table and stand over us and like talk to us. So you feel like you can't eat because it's rude. like you're going to be the rude one eating. Because these people
just want to fart.
Came over to tell him how every single word he's ever uttered has changed their life in some way.
Yeah, fuck you. Just. Oh, I was reading this. So I had a really bad joke the other day. I'm not going to use the joke, but I am going to say. No, I will. So there's a new transgender version of the. Anyways, the title of the movie is Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston, except it's B-E-E-N her.
Come on.
I know. So I heard the joke. Let it be. But this I didn't know. I did not know that Aerosmith stopped performing Dude Looks Like a Lady in concert.
Oh, I had no idea either.
Yeah.
Although I will say I heard randomly recently, I heard Funky Comedina.
It's a fucking awesome song.
Isn't that the one where Sheena was a man?
Sheena might have been a man. Yeah, I think Sheena.
Yeah. I heard that and I went, ooh, I don't think that would play today.
But what's wrong with it though? If Sheena's a man, Sheena's a man. So the fuck what? And there's nothing bad being said there. The truth is truth. If Sheena's a man, Sheena's a man.
It's what he says after that. What does he say after that? I don't
know if I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah, you go to the Googles, but I am fucking kind of. How fucking sensitive have people got? You can't sing "Dude Looks Like a Lady," and not understand that.
So I threw him out. I don't fool around with no Oscar Mayer wiener. You must be sure that your girl is pure for the Funky Cold Medina.
Yeah, okay. But then again, okay, I get it. I don't know that that's a horrible thing. Jess, I can tell you what.
I don't know that it's a necessary thing.
Maybe not necessary, but I can tell you what, that if I were a young man on the scene and I thought I was, hanging with a girl and I thought something was going to go somewhere and I got the wrong grab when I made the grab, I fucking would not. I'd be a little alarmed. I think you have to be upfront about that shit.
I agree with that, but then would you go and make a whole public thing about it? Like it's almost like
I might tell my buds.
It's almost
I might
like
say,
those
hey,
guys on the dating apps who are like, attention. I do not like fat women. If you are a fat woman, do not swipe on my profile. Attention. It's the same thing.
No, I wouldn't do that, but I would probably tell my friends, say, hey, listen, I saw you looking at, Sarah over there. Mm-hmm. Sarah's Sam, just so you know. And if you're okay with that, have at it.
Yeah.
But Sarah's Sam. Yeah, but I think there was also.
But also, there's the added disrespect of I don't fool around with the Oscar Mayer wiener.
Well, but I think just that comes from a time when that lifestyle, the transgender lifestyle, was very hidden.
Which is why I'm saying today it's cringy. Today it's cringy.
Yeah, today it's cringy, but I don't find the song is still art from another time. That's like saying fucking cover up the Venus de Milo because we don't like fucking armless chicks with breast or whatever. I mean, come on.
Attention.
Armless chicks with breasts.
I can't wait to read Wally's dating profile. Jesus. That's going to be great.
We can't just throw away shit because we disagree with it today.
Well, I don't think you have to throw it away. I mean, dude looks like a lady still exists.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But to think that you can't perform a piece of art.
Who said they can't perform it? Maybe they just made the decision not to.
Yeah, I think they have. But then you look at the lead singer and say, well, dude does look like a lady.
Man, you know, he was trying to be country for a few years there, a little while back. And
there are few.
My boss at the time said somebody, like one of his kids, I think, referred to Steven Tyler as America's favorite grandmother.
Very few rock singers not trying to cross-dress look more like a woman than Steven Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Tyler looks very womanly, not feminine, just womanly.
Yeah.
He's got the whole thing going.
Yeah, I think
he always has.
Yeah. I mean, he wears more makeup than I do for sure.
Oh, fuck. He's had more lip work done than you have.
Yep.
No, he's had more face work.
Mm-hmm.
He spends way more on hair products.
For sure.
Absolutely. He wears more scarves.
Yeah. Probably even wears more glitter than me.
Oh, no doubt. And I bet he has a larger collection of thongs than you have.
Probably.
Yeah, I bet so. By the way, thongs. I fucking hate when Jody used to wear thongs back in the day. Not a fan of the thong on a woman. Not that matters. Just me personally, not a fan of a woman in a thong.
Well, I am also actually not a fan of myself in a thong because I don't.
I got to tell you, I'm not either. I just don't like the way it rides on me, Wally.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I don't like it. But do you like your woman in a thong?
Not at all.
Not me either.
I just feel like I don't need to be picking a wedgie out of my ass any more than normal.
But I also don't find it fucking attractive.
The whole
really
reason that they even became a thing is because somehow it's supposed to be bad that you show panty lines. I don't care about panty lines, personally. If you don't know I'm wearing underwear, that really feels like a you problem.
Well, after working with you for 2 years, that's goddamn obvious you don't care about panty lines, Jess. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, but it's funny. Yeah, do people care if I can't remember wondering the last time I wondered.
VPL is a thing that some women say.
What is it?
VPL.
What is that?
Visible panty lines. It's an actual
I
thing
remember
that some people are still concerned about to this day. If you're going to the gym and you're wearing leggings and you're worried about your panty lines showing. I personally am not. If you don't like seeing my panty lines through my leggings, perhaps you could try not looking at my ass.
Can I tell you what? If you're going to be working out in leggings only and you're going to start smelling like ass, you want to have a pair of panties between you and the sweat dripping down the crack
and not
of your
a thong
ass.
Going up your ass when you try to do a squat.
You do not want that.
No.
Wasn't there a product years ago called Underalls?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of, underalls.
Yeah, and that little cartoon of the ass moving back and forth.
Yeah,
I do remember that. Now there's Lumi.
And I think, there's a new one like Lumi called, I think it's called Native.
Oh.
That's now, there's a bunch of off brands or new brands coming out that are trying to move into the Lumi cat. By the way, I was going to send you this. A stick of Lumi at Target, $13.
Wow.
Deodorant stick. Yeah. I'm going to stick with Tussie for $2.99.
Yeah, you keep using that Tom's of Maine. You'll be fine.
I can't use Tom's of Maine. It gives. I don't use deodorant that much, but I have used Tom's of Maine before. It gave me a horrible rash. Not
because it's Tom's of Maine. That's why.
Well, it's not because it's a bad product. It's all organic or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I think it's because I don't use deodorant. So it really irritates the soft soft, supple skin under my arms.
Remember back in the 90s when they were trying to put everything out clear and they had clear deodorant? There was clear Pepsi and they put out clear deodorant. And I remember trying that and it gave me a rash. I could never use that. I don't know what they put in it. But
there was that kind that you, it was clear, but it was like a gel and it came out like in a goopy gel kind of. It was so gross.
Yeah.
That was disgusting. I never saw clear toothpaste. What kind of toothpaste do you use?
The Sensodyne.
Yeah, I use Close Up.
Oh.
With
the stripes?
No, that's Aquafresh.
Oh.
Close Up is
was
the red.
Yeah.
Right, cinnamon. Yeah. I like that.
Okay.
I like cinnamon.
Wow.
Or I like Pepsodent is another one I like. It's sort of wintergreeny.
I thought Pepsodent was for your dentures.
No, that's some. I don't know.
Pepsodent. That's Effordent.
Yeah.
I didn't take my Geritol today. I'm so confused.
I think you've had too much coffee. Go ahead, have another swig of that.
Yeah, have another swig while Wally and I discuss Topol. Okay.
Yeah, the first deodorant I ever used when I was like 11 was Tussie. One of my granddaughter's stocking stuffers are deodorant, a little stick of deodorant.
Little stick of Tussie?
No, secret. Women's secret. Yeah, you know how I was talking about makeup and stuff, and I was concerned about that stuff. So we did get her like some cheek stuff, the rouge or whatever. Yeah, blush, whatever, rouge. I'm only 60. I should say blush, shouldn't I?
Yes.
Probably.
But if you got her rouge, I'm imagining you got her a pocketbook too.
Yeah, no. And some lilac scented powder.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
With a big puff thing, and it's going to sit on the back of the toilet.
Now she's also 60.
And she will smell like a walking lilac farm. Yeah, no. Yeah, so I have it's it's really hard. Well, you obviously you guys know this. It's hard to keep up with and to adjust your mores and your folk ways to the changing of the guard. Mm-hmm. It's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and I'm finding it harder and harder as I get older. And my sensibilities, I'm finding they're changing, and my sensibilities to life's changes for the young. It's really hard to fucking do it, and to accept it, and it just is. Just the mores and folkways just change so rapidly,
mm-hmm.
and I am not keeping up, you guys, because it's hard for me to imagine my 10-year-old granddaughter wearing blush and mascara.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing.
But the thing is, if you draw the line and say, no, you're too young, you can't do it. I mean, I don't know about your granddaughter, but I know that when I was told no, I was too young, and all of my friends were wearing makeup, that I had makeup, and I would take it to school with me and put it on there, and then just have to remember to wash my face before I got home or before my parents got home so that they wouldn't know.
Yeah. So, right. So the best policy I've come to understand, the best policy is I'd rather you not learn about this shit in the bathroom at school or the locker room at school.
Yeah.
And I'd rather you learn from it and learn about it from family and learn how to respect it and understand all of the connotations of it.
Right.
Or as many as we can give you, because I don't want you shoplifting at the Target for mascara and getting that phone call. We got your granddaughter.
It was Woolworth. We didn't have Target. I mean, nothing. What?
Yeah, Ames.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't.
You're gonna go to James Way and Caldor while you're at it.
What? Are you?
Huh?
You're not making fun of me, are you? Were you making fun of me just now? Did I say something?
No, I was talking about that Target run with Jess. That's all.
No, I said we didn't have Target. I had to shoplift it from Woolworth. I mean, what? Nothing. Huh?
No, you never did that.
I didn't. Who?
No. My listen, I shoplifted a lot when I was a kid.
Me too, till I got arrested.
Yeah, I once got in trouble. They took my picture at the Kmart.
I was banned for life at the Hills.
too. I was banned for life from the Kmart.
I was a full adult. There was still, I was in college. Hills was still, I think, at the local mall, and I was still afraid to go in there, even though none of the people who were involved in banning me for life probably still even worked there. There was probably not a picture of my 14-year-old self on the wall there, but I still was convinced I was not allowed to go in the Hills.
That would be so awesome though if you walked in, they still had a picture of you.
Security guard comes out and goes, "No, ma'am."
14 missing kid pictures, and there's one of Jess down here. Shoplifter.
Stole some makeup and some clothes.
You stole clothes.
Yeah.
What did you steal?
I don't know. Some little matching shorts and shirt outfit I thought was cute.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I definitely shoplifted stuff, but I mostly shoplifted to sell. I used to shoplift Levi's.
Oh, I never sold
from the
stuff.
Gap.
It's fun. It's funny. The people, I know there's a handful of people, at least, who I went to high school with, who listen to our show that have no idea
that you shoplifted.
That I shoplifted, that I was arrested, that I had to go to court for it, that my record was sealed, like all of those things.
I got arrested for stealing a pair of sunglasses at the Kmart.
Wow.
Foster grants. And but it wasn't really an arrest. It was. I also got in trouble for stealing a couch.
You stole a couch?
My roommate and I. This was in college. My roommate and I stole one of those the standard sort of made of metal couch you have in a waiting room. It's got black cushions and it's sort of aluminum or whatever, shiny silver. Mm-hmm. Sits two people in it. Mm-hmm. My roommate and I stole it from the gymnasium. We each put our hand outside the window of his Ford Pinto, brought it back to our apartment, and had it in our apartment for, I don't know, a few weeks. And we had a party, and the school security officer showed up along with a police officer. It still had a tag on it that said "from the college property." And I got in trouble for that. Didn't get arrested or anything, but got in trouble at school for it, for stealing school property, college property. But that was more mischievous than, we didn't need the college fucking chair in our. Oh, but I didn't
need any of that shit I stole either.
All of my tableware in college came from the college cafeteria. All of it. Plates, cups, silverware, spoons, forks, knives. I would take a little home every time. It all came from the school cafeteria.
At some point, I had a whole set of pint glasses from Bennigan's.
I was about to say last night, we walked out of Coal Fire up in Frederick, and we're halfway through the parking lot, and she's still got her plastic cup from the table drinking out of the straw. And I'm like, what in the fuck?
Oh, these weren't free?
I remember
yeah, exactly.
Once taking from slipping into Jody's purse. We were married. We were adults, but we were eating at like a country buffet in Virginia. And I think it was called the Country Buffet. And they had the best fucking table sauce, like a sauce at the table. It was just fucking great.
No, this wasn't for eating the table, was it?
No, it was like a steak sauce kind of.
Just making sure. Okay.
It was one of those typical country those buffets where they had like the string beans and some mashed potatoes and canned corn, all on a big thing, and someone was cutting ham and somebody else was cutting, a prime rib, and they'd have the standardized already done steaks, that were all one shoe leathery consistency, but it was $2.99. And it was free sweet tea. So right. And when you're working on a radio salary and you've got two kids, well, actually only one kid at the time. So I took it and I put it in her purse. She was pissed. Oh, she was not happy that I stuck the sauce in her thing. But just
I bet.
Yeah, she was.
You're not the one that was going to get arrested.
Yeah, can you imagine you're getting printed, fingerprinted and photographed for taking a bottle of Worcestershire sauce from a restaurant? Oh, that would be too fucking funny. So what are you in for? Worcestershire sauce. Can you imagine that shit?
No.
Yeah, I'm here for Worcestershire.
All right, you guys. The rest of this bottle of Kahlua is not going to drink itself. I got to go.
Really? You're hitting the sauce?
I'm hitting the sauce. Speaking of the sauce, I'm hitting it.
The sauce. Good for you. You hit it, baby. What do you got for us, Chris?
Gosh, I didn't even think about any celebrities or anything.
What about dad jokes? You promised us two.
Yeah, but what
week.
about how about Andre Braugher died?
Yeah.
Wow. So
and
sad.
That fucking guy. He what an that Barney Rubble. What an actor.
What an actor. Oh God. So my father told me he had a tremendous sex drive when he was young, and one time actually had to drive 50 miles to get some. No. But he did ask me the other day. He says, "Up at the farm, you ever catch the cows jerking off?" I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about?" He says, "Oh, I just thought you'd like some beef stroking off." I'm like, "Dad, Jesus Christ! First of all, they're all heifers. Number one,
your your dad is lonely.
There is, yeah.
He's lonely. You need to get him a friend.
You know what's long green and smells like
80-year-old weightlifter.
Long green and smells like bacon. What is it? Kermit the Frog's fingers. Thank you and have a good night.
Oh,
that's it. We've sunk down a big hole. Jess, take that out in post, will you?
It's a new low.
I think we've. What do you call a cheap circumcision? A ripoff.
Now that's good. That's good, my friend.
I need
all
more
right, good
alcohol.
night, you guys.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. See you all later.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Elbow grease and a whole lot of love transformed 100,000 miles and a body full of rust into a drive entirely its own. LED headlights, spoilers, whatever you need. eBay Motors has it at affordable prices. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride every time. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Pandora makes it easy for you to find your favorite music. Discover new artists and genres by selecting any song or album, and we'll make you a personalized station for free. Download on the Apple App Store or Google Play and enjoy the soundtrack to your life.